Welcome back to Liberty Coins. Today, we are diving deep into a full comparison of two very important and collectible coins in American history, the 1965 and 1967 Washington quarter dollars. These coins are not just simple change. They represent a significant shift in U.S. coinage and have fascinated collectors for decades. In this video, we'll explore everything about these coins, their history, minting design, rare varieties, and their value in today's collector market. Let's start with the 1965 quarter dollar. This coin is extremely special because it marks the end of silver in circulation quarters. Before 1965, quarters were made from 90% silver, which made them highly valuable for their metal content. However, during the early 1960s, the United States faced a silver shortage, and people were hoarding coins. To address this, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition. The 1965 quarter has a copper core and outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which made the coin durable but far less valuable in silver content. Interestingly, 1965 quarters have no mint mark, as the mint removed mint marks that year to discourage hoarding. The design of the 1965 quarter remained the classic Washington quarter design by John Flanagan. On the obverse, we see George Washington's portrait, a design that has been beloved for decades. The words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame the portrait, and the year 1965 is displayed at the bottom. On the reverse, the familiar eagle with spread wings holds arrows and olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. While the design looks simple, every detail, from the hairlines on Washington's portrait to the feathers of the eagle, matters a lot for collectors. Millions of 1965 quarters were produced. Over 1.8 billion coins were struck, mainly at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while Denver coins normally show a small D. Despite their massive numbers, finding high-grade uncirculated coins today is rare, which increases their collectible value. In circulation, a 1965 quarter is still worth 25 cents, but collectors often pay $10, $20 for well-preserved examples. Rare mint error coins, such as double dies or off-center strikes, can sell for hundreds of dollars. Moving on to the 1967 quarter dollar, this coin continues the copper-nickel clad design introduced in 1965, like the 1965 quarter. It also has no mint mark, as the U.S. Mint was still avoiding mint marks during this period to prevent hoarding. Millions of 1967 quarters were minted, but over the years many were heavily circulated, making top-quality specimens rare. The design is the same classic Washington and eagle, but collectors pay attention to small details, like sharpness of the hair, clarity of letters, and eagle feather details. Some coins were struck slightly off-center, causing part of the design to be missing. Others show double dies, where letters or numbers appear doubled. These mistakes are extremely collectible and can fetch hundreds of dollars in today's market, making 1967 quarters highly sought after despite their large mintage. When comparing the 1965 and 1967 quarters, there are several points to note. First, the 1965 quarter is historically important, as the first non-silver quarter, marking a major change in American coinage, and condition, as many circulated heavily. In terms of value, high-grade 1965 quarters are slightly easier to find, while a perfect 1967 quarter with rare error can be worth more. Collectors also look at the metal composition and minting quality. The 1965 coin, being the first of the copper-nickel era, often has a slightly softer strike because the mint was adjusting to the new composition. The 1967 coin shows stronger details in many cases, but condition matters most. Coins in MS65 or higher grades from both years are highly valued. Prices for uncirculated 1965 quarters range from $10 to $20, while 1967 uncirculated coins often sell for $15 to $30, depending on the coin's eye appeal and sharpness. Rare error coins can be worth $100 to $500, or even more if exceptionally rare. Another fascinating comparison is their historical context. The 1965 quarter represents a transition period in U.S. currency, reflecting economic adjustments and the end of silver circulation. The 1967 quarter shows continued adaptation, and it's also a snapshot of the post-1965 coin circulation. Both coins tell a story about the economic and numismatic history of the United States during the 1960s. In conclusion, both the 1965 and 1967 Washington quarters are must-have coins for collectors. The 1965 quarter is historic for ending silver coins, while the 1967 quarter is fascinating for its rarity and high-grade condition and unique mint errors. Together, they represent a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history and are a treasure for any serious collector. If you enjoyed this detailed comparison and want to see more rare coin history, value breakdowns, and collector tips, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Liberty Coins. Full videos on each coin's history and rare varieties are available on our channel, so check them out for even more in-depth numismatic knowledge.